Great. Thank you so much for that, Andrew. I mean, and along with all the other policies that you speak and advocate for, one of your campaign's most memorable slogans was, not left, not right, but forward. And similarly, at the Institute of Politics, we strive to be a bipartisan organization that encourages students to not only learn from each other, but from a wide range of political perspectives. So with that in mind, are there any aspects of the Republican Party that you agree with? And where is the common ground, in your opinion, if any, between the two parties that seem right now to be mutually exclusive? And who is a member of an opposing party that you admire?
I just got a very nice article where Jeb Bush said some nice things about me, which kind of makes me like Jeb. There's like a human reciprocity impulse. It's like Jeb likes me, then I like Jeb too. I think the common ground we can find very quickly between Democrats and Republicans is that right now there's this argument of big government versus small government, and it's missing the point. It's really effective government or smart government. And that's what we should be able to agree on. Where if you look at, for example, the CDC's failures in helping contain the pandemic or the coronavirus, if you look at the actual failures, it wasn't a lack of resources. It was just bureaucracy that slowed things down and made everyone risk averse. Their first test was faulty, which we lost valuable weeks. So that wasn't a case where if they had an extra $1 billion or $2 billion, like they would have had a better test. I mean, they had plenty of resources and money. They had everything they needed. They just couldn't get it done because they weren't designed as an organization to be fast and responsive. They were designed to move, I think one of the commentators called it at the speed of science. And the speed of science works when you are dealing with long-term research, but it doesn't work so well when you have a real-time pandemic. So what we have to try and come to agreement on between both sides is, look, it's not about the dollars and cents. It's about the efficacy. It's about whether or not the organizations or institutions can actually solve the problems that they're supposed to solve for. Another example, and I'm trying to think of how old you all were when this happens because time flies, but the rollout of healthcare.gov in 2013, where you have this massive overhaul of the healthcare system. You spend $684 million telling us about it. And then when it rolls out, it doesn't work so well. And everyone's looking around being like, well, how can I have trust this thing? Like, it could only get, I think literally the number was something like 20. It only could sign up 20 people on that first day because tens or hundreds of thousands of people showed up. So if you're a Democrat, which I am, and you're arguing for government to take on a bigger role, which I think it has to, given the scope of the challenges we're dealing with, you have to be realistic and disciplined and say, look, it's not just about throwing resources and saying, we're doing more. It's about actually holding yourself accountable to whether you can deliver something in the way that you're saying to the American people you can deliver it. So if you say you're going to have a website for millions of people to sign up for healthcare, the website should work, like when you say it's going to work, and if you're dedicating billions of dollars to the Center for Disease Control, then it should not fail you in the time of need that it was essentially founded to help address. So these are things where the real lack of accountability in government, I think, is frustrating people on both sides, and it makes it harder for us to solve real problems. And I feel like this is something that crosses party lines, that Democrats and Republicans alike should be arguing for smarter, more efficient, more modern day government solutions.